You are watching video on SE examination preparation grade 10 exam subject science, and this video deals with the revision of chemistry chapter classification of elements, and this is part 2 of the revision. We are going to discuss question answers in this video which are based on explanation of part 1 revision of chapter classification of elements. Now question number 1, how are elements classified, or it can be asked this way also, what is the classification of elements? So how are elements classified? Elements are classified on the basis of their properties, similar properties and dissimilar properties. Or what is the classification of element? When elements are divided into groups on the basis of their properties, similar properties and dissimilar properties, it is called classification of elements. Now question number 2, on what basis did Mendeleev made the periodic table? Mendeleev's periodic table is made on the basis of atomic weights of the elements. He kept the elements in increasing order of their atomic weights. Number 3, what is the basis of modern periodic table? The basis of modern periodic table is atomic number. The elements are kept in increasing order of their atomic number. So these are the very simple questions. Okay, and state Mendeleev's periodic law. Mendeleev's periodic law. Mendeleev's periodic law can be stated as the physical and the chemical properties of the elements are periodic function of their atomic weights or atomic mass. Mendeleev's periodic table can be stated as the physical and the chemical properties of the elements are periodic function of their atomic weights or atomic mass. State modern periodic law. Modern periodic law can be stated as the physical and the chemical properties of the elements are periodic function of their atomic numbers. Atomic numbers, modern periodic law. It was given by Henry Moseley. This is Moseley's periodic law. Henry Moseley, Moseley's periodic law. M-O-A-C-L-E-Y, Moseley. Give 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages of Mendeleev's periodic table. Advantages: some gaps were left in the table for undiscovered elements, which led to the discovery of more elements. So some gaps were left in the table, Mendeleev's periodic table, which encouraged the chemist scientists to discover these undiscovered elements. And number B, errors in the atomic weights of the elements were corrected. So when elements were kept in increasing order of their atomic weights, so errors were found in the atomic weights of the elements. So these were corrected on the basis of their properties. So these are the advantages, and now disadvantages. The position of hydrogen was not clear. Hydrogen could be placed in group 1 as well as in group 7. So the position of hydrogen was not made clear. So it could be placed in group 1 as well as group 7. And there were no places for the isotopes of the same element. Since the Mendeleev periodic table was made on the basis of atomic weight or atomic mass, so single element, one element can have 2 isotopes, or isotopes are just like species. There can be 2 same element on the basis of atomic weight. These are called isotopes. So in case of some elements there are isotopes, and isotopes should have different places in the table, Mendeleev's periodic table, if it was made on the basis of atomic weight. Okay, supposing chlorine, there are 2 isotopes of chlorine. According to that there should be 2 different places for chlorine, but it was not like this in the Mendeleev's periodic table. So there were no places for the isotopes of the same element. So these are the disadvantages of Mendeleev's periodic table. So these are very simple points. This may come in 1 mark or 2 mark questions. 2 mark questions. Now the next is give 2 advantages of modern periodic table. Position of hydrogen was made more clear. It is kept in group 1A, first position in 1A, initial position of group 1A, due to its smallest atomic number, that is 1, least atomic number, that is 1. So since the table was made on the basis of atomic number, hydrogen was kept in the beginning of group 1A. Okay, because its atomic number is the smallest, that is 1 among all. So position of hydrogen was made more clear. It is kept in group 1A first position due to its smallest atomic number 1. It was made more clear. Okay, it is not completely solved, but it is solved to some extent. So number B, position of isotopes was made clear. An element needed only one position as it was based on atomic number. So the confusion regarding isotopes place was made clear because one element should have only one place if it is made on the basis of atomic number. So an element has only one atomic number. That is why the regarding position regarding isotope was made clear. So there are no more confusions regarding isotopes. So position of isotopes was made clear. An element needed only one position as it was based on atomic number. Now next number is, what do you mean by periodic function of the element? So this periodic function you need to remember. Periodic function means if the elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic numbers, that means atomic number means modern periodic table, then after a fixed interval properties of the elements start repeating. Okay, properties of the elements start repeating after counting shortened interval. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and again from 10 you count till 20, it becomes again 10. No, so 10 to 1 10 20 will have similar properties. That is the periodicity. Periodic function means if the elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic numbers, then after a fixed interval properties of the elements start repeating. The what is the number of groups and the periods in modern periodic table? There are 9 groups which are arranged in 18 columns in periodic table, modern periodic table, because in 9 groups, group 1 to group 7 have subgroup A and subgroup B. Okay, so 14. 7 groups are divided into subgroup A and B, so it counts 14. And there are 3 columns for group 8, so 14 15 16 17, and group 0 19. So there are 18 columns in the periodic table. Sometimes it is called 18 groups also. Okay, so actually 9 groups. So there are 7 periods in modern periodic table. Periods are horizontal lines, so there are 7 periods in modern periodic table. So 9 groups in 18 columns and 7 periods. So now the differences between modern periodic table and Mendeleev's periodic table. Modern periodic table is based on atomic number of the elements, whereas Mendeleev's periodic table is based on atomic weights of the elements. Right? In modern periodic table, there are group 0 elements in the periodic table, modern periodic table. Group 0 elements are present in the table, whereas group 0 elements are absent in Mendeleev's periodic table. Okay, there are more differences, like there are less number of elements in Mendeleev's periodic table, and in case of modern periodic table there are more number of elements in the modern periodic table. So you can write this type of differences. Okay, you can write about position of hydrogen, etc. And this one, now write the differences between groups and the periods of modern periodic table. So if you understand differences between groups and period, then it will help you a lot to answer many questions related to this topic. Groups and the periods. Groups, vertical columns are groups. Periods, horizontal rows are called columns. Groups, there are 9 groups in 18 columns. Periods, there are 7 periods. Groups, all elements in a group have same properties. All the elements in a group have same properties. Whereas in periods, properties of the elements in a period change gradually. Properties of elements in a period change gradually. So while coming from left to right, properties gradually change in the elements in case of period. Number D, in group, all the elements in a group have same number of valence electron. all the elements in a group have same number of valence electron. Number D, the number of valence electron in a period keep increasing from 1 to 8 in a period. So horizontally, number of valence electron increases while coming from left to right, right? Whereas in a group, all the elements will have same number of valence electron. Group 1a elements all have 1 electron in their valence shell. Group 2a elements all have 2 electrons in their valence shell. Okay. Group 3a elements, all elements have 3 electrons in their valence shell. So this way, in a group, number of valence electrons same, but in a period, number of valence electron increases while moving from left to right. So groups are made on the basis of valency of the elements. So valency of the elements are closely related with number of electrons in their valence shell. So groups are made on the basis of valency of elements, whereas periods are made on the basis of number of orbits. Okay, for example, in period 1 there is only one shell or the one orbit in the atomic structure. Period 2, there are 2 orbits or the 2 cells in the atomic structure. Period 3, there are 3 cells or the 3 orbits in atomic structure. Okay, so this way periods are based on number of orbits or the cells, whereas groups are based on the valency of elements. Now the next is give the common names of the following groups: 1a, 2a, 7a, group 0. What are the common names of these groups? And give reasons for giving such names. Okay, what is the reason for giving such names? So we are going to see here. Group 1a elements. Group 1a elements are also called alkali metals. Common name is alkali metals. Alkali metals. Okay. So the elements in group 1a readily dissolve in water to form very strong hydroxides or alkalis. Thus they are called alkali metals. So very strong hydroxides or very reactive hydroxides are produced, okay, when alkali metals, when group 1a elements dissolve in water. Group 1a elements dissolve in water, they form alkalis, okay, or hydroxides. That is why these are called alkali metals. Group 2a elements are called alkaline earth metals. Alkaline earth metals. The elements in group 2a dissolve in water to form hydroxides or alkalis, but they are less reactive than alkali metals of group 1a. Okay, less reactive or less soluble than alkali metals group 1a metals. Okay, that is why these are called alkaline earth metal. Or earth means little bit stable, stability. Earth means it is related to stability. The elements in group 2a dissolve in water to form hydroxides or alkali, but they are less reactive than alkali metals of group 1a or less soluble than alkali metals. Less soluble hydroxides than hydroxides of group 1a. Group 7a elements are called halogens. These are called halogens. The elements of group 7a react with metals of group 1a, alkali metals, to form salt. For example, NaCl, sodium chloride. Over here, chlorine is 7a element. Chlorine is 7a element and sodium Na is 1a element. So this 7a, group 7a element combines with the element of group 1a to form salt, NaCl. That is why these are called halogens. Group 0 elements, these are called inert elements or noble gases. Inert elements, inert means not reactive, inert elements or noble gases. The elements of group 0 are non-reactive. They do not take part in chemical reaction as they are stable elements. Stable elements means either they are duplate or octet. Duplate means they have 2 electrons in the outermost shell or the valence shell, or octet means they have 8 electrons in the valence shell. Okay, duplate, helium is duplate, and except helium others are octet. Okay, so this way they have stable electronic configuration. That is why they do not take part in chemical reaction. That is why group 0 elements are called inert elements or noble gases. So this you have to remember. And this one, give two differences between representative and transition elements. This is for your understanding. You see, representative elements, these are the elements of subgroup A in the modern periodic table. Representative elements are also called normal elements. Okay, these are the elements of subgroup A in the modern periodic table, whereas transition elements are the elements of subgroup B in modern periodic table. Yes, transition elements are subgroup B elements. Representative elements, S block and P block elements are representative elements. S block and P block elements are representative elements, whereas D block and F block elements are transition elements. Actually, F block elements are inner transition elements. Inner transition elements. Okay, F block elements. So D and F block elements are transition elements, or actually F block is inner transition elements. You can write F block is inner transition element. Inner transition elements, right? So these are the differences between representative and transition elements. Representative elements are normal elements. Define subcell, name the subcells. Subcells or orbitals, these are the spaces around the nucleus where the probability of finding electron is maximum. Spaces around the nucleus where the probability of finding electron is maximum. Actually, subcells are the divisions of main cells. Main cells K, L, M, N are divided into subcells, and the names of these subcells are SPDF. Okay, so subcells are the orbitals. Orbitals. Okay, SPDF are the subcells or the orbitals. These are the names of the subcells. Give two differences between S and P block elements. S block elements and P block elements. S block elements, the elements in which last electrons are being filled in S orbital of the atom. Right. The elements in which last electrons are being filled in S orbital of the atom are called S block elements, whereas P block elements are the elements in which last electrons are being filled in P orbital of the atom. Right, atomic structure, P orbital. Now S block elements, they are group 1a and 2a elements. S block elements are 1a and 2a, group 1a and 2a elements, whereas P block elements are P block elements are 3a to 7a, 3a, 4a, 5a, 6a, 7a elements, and group 0 elements, except helium. Okay, except helium. Helium is not in this group. So they are 3a to 7a and group 0 elements. So these are the differences between S block elements and P block elements. Now we'll see this one. Name the groups in the periodic table, modern periodic table, where active metals, active non-metals, and inert elements are kept. Group 1a, the most active metals, most reactive metals are group 1a elements or alkali metals. Okay, among metals, group 1a metals are the most reactive. Group 7a, the most active non-metals or most reactive non-metals are 7a. Okay, 7a are most reactive among non-metals. And group 0, non-reactive elements, means not reactive, these are inert or noble elements. So these are the groups in which most reactive metals, most reactive non-metals, and inert elements are kept. So with this we finish this discussion. We are going to do more important questions in the next part.